to the Chapter 6 review that's on page 257. We put this page as kind of a practice quiz. So you should have taken already the Chapter 6 review for test part 1. If you didn't already take it, that's okay, but we are going to go through this together. So if you did take it, then you'll get a chance to see the questions that you made errors on. You'll get to see how to do them, how to fix them. And you are able, after 1 hour, you're able to go back into the quiz and take it again if you'd like to try again. But the quiz, this practice quiz, is really meant to help you prepare for Wednesday's test. Anytime I take a big test, I like to do a practice test, see which questions I already know the answers to and which questions I still need to focus on. So that was the hope, that you're going to use this quiz as that kind of help. So let's go ahead and look at question 1. And question 1 was broken into 4 parts. Okay, so for 1A, you should have been asking yourself, 3 divided by 1 equals 1. That's what it said. Is that true? If I have 3 fish and I'm putting them into 1 fish tank, how many fish are in that fish tank? There's 3. So question 1A is actually false. Question 1A, the correct answer should be 3 divided by 1 equals 3. Anytime you have a number divided by 1, it is just that number. I could even take 257 divided by 1 equals 257. It can work with any number. If I have $1 million and I'm dividing it into one group, it's $1 million. Okay, so 1A was false, and you would answer false. 1B. So for 1B, it's 0 divided by 4 equals 0. That's how they wrote it. Okay, so if I have 0 fish and I'm putting them into 4 fish bowls, I have 0 in each one, right? So number 2, which is 1B, I know it's a little wonky, but this 0 divided by 4 equals 0, that is actually true. So you'll answer true. Any number divided by another, 0 divided by a number is always going to be 0. All right, now for question 3, we're only looking at 1C. 7 divided by 7 equals 1. Okay, so if I have 7 fish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I have 7 fish and I put them into 7 bowls, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bowls, how many fish are in each bowl? There's just 1. So 1C is true. 7 divided by 7 is 1. I always think of a picture in my mind. Now, let's take a look at 1D. So 1D is 6 divided by 1 equals 6. Now, think back what we talked about with 1A, right? Any number divided by 1 is that number. So 6 divided by 1 is 6. If I have 6 fish and I put my 6 fish into one bowl, I have one group of 6 fish. So this is a true sentence. 6 divided by 1 is 6. True. All right. Now let's take a look at question 5 on your quiz, which is really from question number 2 on your booklet. So you can see I broke those up. So now we're looking here at number 2 about Elizabeth. Elizabeth and her horses. All right. Elizabeth has 12 horses on her farm. She puts an equal number of horses in each of 3 pens. how many horses are in each pen. So we have to circle or choose the number that makes the sentence true. So let's just think about what that looks like. She has 3 horse pens, right? There's the 3 pens. And she has 12 horses. And she's putting an equal number in those horses, in those horse pens. So I like to just go put 1 in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She's got her 12 horses divided into 3 pens equals, and you can see it, 4 horses in each pen. So there are 4 horses in each pen. All right, thumbs up, feeling good? Okay. All right, looking at number 6 on the quiz, which is really number 3 from your book. Chris plants 25 pumpkin seeds in 5 equal rows. How many seeds does Chris plant in each row? So we're going to make an array to represent the problem and then solve the problem. I'm actually going to jump into my book and use the handy graph paper because that is the handiest for math. Okay, and he's got his 25 seeds in 5 equal rows. So here's my row 1, my row 2, my row 3, my row 4, my row 5. And he's going to put 5 rows, 1 in each row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to count. I'm going to keep putting them into the rows until I get to 25. So I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I can take a look now and see how many seeds does he plant in each row. He's putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5 times 5, right? So he's got 5 seeds in each row. So up here on my answer, I'm going to type the number 5 and next. If you didn't draw it out and you tried to do it in your head, you run the risk of maybe making a mistake. So I do suggest, even though you may have a quiz on a screen, use your paper to help solve it, okay? Now, this one was tricky.
Mrs. Findlay?
Yes.
Well, we do have 3 hands, but I'm not sure if we're not really answering questions. Mrs. Findlay's going to give you the answers. So if you have your hand up for that reason, you can take it down.
I've also texted them in the chat to see what they needed help with.
So Charlie and Patrick, if you have questions, check your chat and you can chat with Ms. Steinley. Okay, we are on page 258 right now. You can see it's on the screen too. And we're looking at question number 7 from the quiz, which is really question number 4 in your book on page 258. Okay, today was a different way of submitting your work. And I saw about half of 3rd graders did this quiz already ahead of today's Zoom. So thank you for doing that. And now hopefully you're getting to see which ones you got right and which ones you may still need to work on. All right. So, yes.
One of the kids, are you at question 10 yet? Sorry.
Nope, not yet.
Okay, so Dayton, you're going to have to wait till she gets to question 10.
Okay, I'm going in order. So we're at number 7 from the computer, or number 4 in your book. The question about Becca. Becca spent 24 minutes walking around a track. It took her 3 minutes to walk each time around the track. How many times did Becca walk around the track? Now, we're having to use these dots, which for a minute was confusing to me. I had to take a moment and think, what are these dots? So I counted them all up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I see there's 6 here. So there's 6, 12, 18, 24. There's 24 dots, right? And I looked in back to the word problem. She spent 24 minutes walking around the track. So each dot is representing 1 minute. Yes? So it took her 3 minutes to walk around the track each time. So each time she walked around the track, it was 3 minutes. So here is how I can use this array, these rows and columns, to help me figure out how many times she went around the track. That was 3 minutes. She went around the track 1 time. This was 3 minutes. She went around the track a second time. Every time I'm circling 3 minutes, that's another trip around the track. So 2 times around the track so far, 3 times around the track, 4 times around the track, 5 times around the track, 6 times around the track, 7 times around the track, 8 times around the track. And so I need to type my answer. Becca walked around the track 8 times. I circled 3 minutes 8 times. And I might think to myself, oh, 3 times 8 equals 24. That multiplication fact can help me confirm that I got it right? She took 24 minutes and she divided them into groups of 3 minutes. 24 divided by 3 equals 8. So I like to use the fact families to help me. So hopefully that made sense, but I know when I first looked at it and saw the dots, I was confused as to what the dots meant. So each dot is representing 1 minute. All right, let's take a look at number 5 on page 258. So there are 7 cars in an amusement park ride. Okay, I'm imagining a roller coaster. There's 7 train cars. There are 42 people divided equally among the 7 cars. And I see 1 car, 2 cars, 3 cars, 4 cars, 5 cars, 6 cars. There's the 7 cars. An equal number of people ride in each car. How many people ride in 1 car? So I have to take this whole number, 42, and I have to break them into, divide those 42 people into the 7 cars. 42 divided by 7 equals, now I could put 1 in each car and keep track till I get to 42, or I see a 7, so I know I could use my 7 multiplication. 7 times something equals 42. Right? My 7 times tables can help me with a division problem with 7. So I could go 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. So how many times did I have 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 times 6 is 42. So if I put 6 people in each car, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, and the spider said 42. That also works. I can double check using my 6s that 6 times 7 is 42. So the question, how many people ride in 1 car? You can see there are 6 people riding in 1 car. So I have to type my answer, 6. Okay? I know it's a little extra step going back and forth to the screen and your paper, but I thought this way you might get some instant feedback as to how you are doing with this practice test. All right, let's take a look at number 6 in your book, which is number 9 on the computer. And it says, in the question it says, select the equations that represent the array. Mark all that apply. I wrote up here, be sure to choose all that apply. There is more than 1 letter that matches or represents the equation. So whenever a question says mark all that apply, there's probably more than 1 right answer. So, and that is true for this. So we have to look at this array, and I see 3 rows, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns. I know this array could represent 3 times 5, and that would be 15 total, right? Do I see 3 times 5? I do. I see A is 3 times 5, so I can click A as an answer choice. B, 2 times 6. Are there 2 rows of 6 here? No. How about something divided by 3 equals 5? Well, if I think of my fact family for 3 times 5, I could do 15 divided by 3 equals 5, right? That could work. So C also is an answer that works. Looking at D, the turnaround fact for 3 times 5 is 5 times 3 equals 15, right? That could be 5 times 3 equals 15, 5 times something. So D also works. And I'll click down here. Now E, 12 divided by 3. Well, there's more than 12 squares in this array. That one is not representing the array. And F, 15 divided by 5 equals something. Well, I know with my fact family, I could take 15 divided by 5 and equal 3, and it would match the picture I have. So F also works. So there are 4 possible choices. In order to get these kinds of questions correct on a test, you have to answer them correctly. So A is a choice that works, so you click A. You cannot click B because it doesn't work, right? So you actually have, it's kind of like 6 questions in one. In 3rd grade, you start seeing a lot more of these combo questions where one question might be 6 in one. All right? You guys feeling good about that one? I think the complicated part about this one is just there's a lot to navigate with how the question's laid out. So just take it slow and look at part by part. All right, we're going to take a look. We're on page 259. And we're on, it's really number 7, but on your quiz, it's number 10. I know the quiz and question numbers are a little wonky since question 1 got broken into 4 questions. But all right, you should be on page 259, number 7, or on the computer screen, number 10. So Eduardo visited his cousin for 28 days over the summer. There are 7 days in each week. How long in weeks was Eduardo's visit? All right, so we're going to draw jumps on the number line to model the problem, and then we have to choose which problem matches, right? So we're going to start at 28 because he was there for 28 days. And we're going to jump back 7 days because we need to know how many weeks he was there. So I'm going to jump back 5. If I want to do like mini jumps, I know that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 days. These are all jumps of 7. It's hard to see those 7, so if you want to do little jumps, I think it looks like an umbrella. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you know you got there when you got to the 0. So each jump of 7 is a week. So how many weeks he was there? You can show me with your fingers. How many weeks was he there? The 28 days broken into 7. Yep, Mylin's get it. Yep, Freda, yes. Patrick, yes. He was there 4 weeks. So which of these is going to show 28 divided into 7 days equals 4? It's this one. Now, look at this is called a distractor. This is going to distract you. 28 divided by 4, if that equaled 7, that could work. But this is an incorrect fact, right? 28 divided by 4 does not equal 32. And 7 divided by 28 does not equal 4. Now, if you chose 7 times 4 equals 28, I could see where that might make it look like that worked because it's one of the turnaround facts. It's one of the fact families. So the correct answer, the most correct answer is 28 divided by 7 equals 4 because we're using this number line to divide up 28 days into 4 weeks of 7 days. All right. Now we are on number 8. We're skipping the part B in your book, and we're going to go into number 8. It's on page 259. A workbook is 64 pages long. If each chapter is 8 pages long, how many chapters are there? So you could solve this any way you like. I've got 64 pages. I could think of my 8s. 8, 16. If I'm counting, here's one chapter. Here's 2 chapters, 8, 16. A third chapter would bring me to 24 pages. Add 8 more pages would get me to 32 pages for my 4th chapter. A 5th chapter, add 8 pages, would bring me to 40 pages. A 6th chapter would be 48 pages. And I'm looking to stop at 64 pages, okay? The whole book is 64 pages long. If I add 8 more pages to the 48 pages to get my 7th, that would be 56 pages. And if I add 8 more pages to get my 8th chapter, that would be 64. I might think to myself, oh, 8 times 8 equals 64. So there are actually, and I'll change the color so it stands out a little, there are 8 chapters. 64 divided by 8 is 8, or you might think 8 times 8 equals 64. Okay, now we're going to come back to number 9 and do number 10 first, and we'll finish out the quiz that's online. All right, so we're on number 10 on page 259. Hey, Stefan, we have a Stefan. Is this you? Did you pose for this problem? Here we go. Stefan has 24 photos to display on some posters. Select a way that he could display the photos in equal groups on the posters. Mark all that apply. So this is another one of those where there's more than one right answer. So let's make sure we understand what's happening. He has like 24 photos and he's making some posters. They're not telling us how many posters, and they're not telling us how many he's putting on each poster. So we just know that it has to equal a total of 24 photos. So let's look at each of these 6 choices as an option. Could he put 6 photos on each of 4 posters? Let's just look at what that looks like. If he has 6 photos on 1, 2, 3, here's 4 posters, 6, 12, 18, 24. If he put 6 on each of those, that would be 24 total, right? So he would have 24 photos total. So A works. So we're going to go through each option, A, B, C, D, E, and F, to see if it totals 24. Now, if he had 7 photos on each of 3 posters, here's his 3 posters, right? 7, 14, 21. Well, he had 7 photos on each of 3 posters. That only gets me to 21 photos, but he has 24 photos. So A worked, but B did not. So B is not working. Doesn't get him 24 photos. Now let's look at C. If he has 4 photos on each of 6 posters. So he's got 6 posters. I'm going to draw out my 6 posters so I can see my equal groups. And whoops, and he's got 4 photos on each. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. Oh yeah. 4 times 6 equals 24. So C is working. C is an option, right? He could select to put 4 photos on each of 6 posters. Now, hopefully you're getting the idea. You kind of have to just think about each of these scenarios separately. Let's look at D. If he had 5 photos on each of 5 posters, here's your 5 posters. You see them there? Could he put 5 on each? Would that get you to 24? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Nope. 5 times 5 is 25. So that does not work because he would have too many photos then. So D does not work. E, 3 photos on each of 8 posters. So let's see E. If he has 3 photos on each of 8 posters, I'm going to count by 3s. right? 8 times. So I like to draw out my posters. And 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. Does that work? 3 times 8 equals 24. So that is separating out and dividing his 24 photos onto 8 posters with 3 on each. So E works. So I'll mark E. These multi-step problems, you can get lost. Not because you don't understand the problem, but because there's a lot of steps and there's a lot of parts. Okay, so just be patient with yourself and take the time to go through each part. We still have to look at F because that might work.
Findlay, that last problem reminds me of the minute problem from a little bit ago where they had the minutes that you did earlier.
Oh.
With the circles and the minutes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That you're right. It was the fact 3 times 8. As you start internalizing your multiplication facts, some of you probably are already. You might just know, hey, I see 24. I know that I could do 3 times 8 or 2 times 12 or 6 times 4. You might just know that. So the process will get faster the more you have internalized your multiplication facts. But good connecting that fact, family, to the last question. Well, let's look at 7 photos on each of 4 posters. All right, here's 4 posters. Maybe you've already done it in your head. 7, 14, 21, 28. Oh no, 7 times 4 equals 28, right? So it's not going to be 24 photos. So F does not work, so I leave it blank. Okay, so 3 were correct, A, C, and E, but B, D, and F did not work. And that was my last question on the online quiz, so I'll click submit. I'm going to submit. It's going to auto grade. And I got 14 out of 14. Okay. Whew. So hopefully that worked for you when you did it. If you missed some and you want to go back, I set it so you can retake the quiz. Now, we did not do on the computer number 9. So let's take a look at number 9 together. Let me make sure it's not blurry. That's really blurry. Okay. Are you good for number 9? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Benicios, is that a thumb up? Yeah? Okay. All right. So there are 56 apples packed in 7 baskets with the same number of apples in each basket. How many apples are in each basket? So it says for numbers 9A through 9D, choose yes or no to tell whether the equation represents the problem. So let's figure out what our equation should be. If we've got 56 apples broken into 7 baskets, how many will there be in each basket? So let's figure that out. And then it's kind of asking us the fact family, right? So let's see. If we've got 56 divided by 7, I'm going to move this up a little bit. So I'm going to take and make my 7 baskets. Okay, there's my 7 baskets. I'm going to put an equal number of apples until I get to 56. So 56 is my target number, right? I'm going to stop when I get to 56. I'm going to use tallies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56. So I took the 56 apples, I divided them into the 7 baskets, And I can see there are 5, 6, 7, 8 apples in each basket, right? Now I know my fact family that I'm working with. So I can do 56 divided by 7 equals 8. Knowing my fact family, I could also do 56 divided by 8 equals 7. And the multiplication that is connected with this division problem, 7 times 8 equals 56, or the turnaround fact, 8 times 7 equals 56. So now I have to look at 9A through 9D. Is 56 plus 7, is that connected to this problem? Are we adding those numbers together? Give me a thumbs up, or Gabriella, I see a hearty no. We are not. We're not adding 56 plus 7. What about 7 times something equals 56? Cha-ching! Yes, thumbs up. All right. How about 56 divided by something equals 8? That was the first one we did, right? Cha-ching! This is just a really complicated looking fact family question. How about 56 minus something equals 8? That's not what we're doing, right? We're dividing equal groups, so that one's a no. So for 9A would be no, 9B would be yes, 9C would be yes, and 9D would be no. That problem looked a little daunting for me to do on the test. I'm going to stop my recording of this